Okay, friends. So I have changed my mind yet again. I'm a little bit over life right now. I'm having a difficult day, but I need to get this garlic planted. So this is the life of a person who chooses to work hard and live a subsistence lifestyle, live an intentional lifestyle, live a hardworking lifestyle. Is even when you have a bad day, sometimes things need to get done. That's just sort of part of the exchange. And in some ways, I think that's a good thing because it gets me out of like the negative thought cycles. It gets me off the couch and gets me outside in the fresh air and forces me to do something productive. So maybe that's a good thing. But because I'm having a little bit of a difficult day, I have been indecisive all day long, really for weeks, on where to put this godforsaken garlic. And I've had it. I've like reached a limit to where I've realized maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe I just need to plant it and I will see how it turns out next year and then learn a lesson maybe if it doesn't go so good, or maybe it'll go better than I think. But regardless, it needs to go somewhere because if I don't plant it, I will have no garlic next year. So I was going back and forth. In the last clip, you saw me indicating the backyard where we've been clearing trees. I have just thought about it and I don't think that's a great idea because we're still clearing trees, we're still clearing stuff out, and I just don't want the garden bed to be in the way. So I'm actually in my front yard right now. I have this huge granite boulder, which is one reason why this channel is called Granite Garden Cottage, because there's granite everywhere. I live in the granite state and it is not named, it's not a misnomer. The granite state it is, because there's granite everywhere. But this giant piece of granite is in my front yard. It's kind of in the corner of like where the main road and my driveway meet. And there's just this little pocket here where there's no septic, no well, no leach field, no buried septic tank or buried propane tanks. This little pocket here gets quite a bit of sunlight, so I'm just gonna plant the garlic here and we're just gonna see how it goes. And like I said, if it doesn't go well, so be it. But if it goes well, great. Sometimes I think just making a decision is the hardest part of the whole dang thing. So I've made a decision, it's going here, and that's all there is to it. I hope you guys can relate to this feeling of just like the hem-hawing, the back and forth, the indecision, the frustration, whatever. So I'm just gonna put the garlic here and I'm gonna show you how I go about doing that. I'm gonna try to get this done as quickly and efficiently as possible because I am sort of ready for this garlic fiasco to be done. So we're gonna plant it, we're gonna get it in the ground. Well, I guess not in this ground because this ground is laden with granite. I'm gonna build up a garden bed and get this garlic planted. So let's take a look at how that's gonna go. So first and foremost, I'm gonna just try to maybe shovel up some of this grass and some of these weeds before I go laying down cardboard. I'm gonna lay down a bunch of cardboard. I'm gonna wet the cardboard, and then I'm gonna start laying some logs and then some smaller branches and then smaller sticks and then leaves, and then my topsoil. It's kind of the Hugelkultur method, if you will, and it's intended to retain moisture and provide nutrient breakdown during a long period of time. So as the years go on, it will continue to break down, continue to provide nutrients, and I will end up with a healthy, water retentive garden bed for years to come. That's the theory. So I am going to do that. It also helps save me from just dumping tons of soil in here. Soil's expensive if you have to buy it, which I do because I live in the granite state and we don't have a ton of lush, rich, healthy soil available that's not laden with rock and boulders. So I have to buy in my soil and it's expensive. So this kind of helps save me on how much soil I have to put in this spot. So yeah, let's see if I can get some of this ground dug up a bit before I put down my cardboard. So first and foremost, I do want to So first and foremost, I do want to measure out kind of the rough area that I'm going to be planting, because I do want at least 8 feet by 4 feet for this bed, so I know I have enough space for all the garlic I plan to grow. So this is 4 feet here. If we estimate somewhere around here for our first point, and then somewhere around here is our second point. Don't mind the neighbor's dog, by the way. I do live in a neighborhood, so you can hear the neighbor's dog. So somewhere around there is where my bed will end. And then somewhere around here to start for the 8-foot section. That would be somewhere around here for my secondary spot. I also wanted to mention, guys, that I did buy a microphone, so soon you will be able to hear me no matter where I am in the video, which I think will be really nice, because I know some people have made comments about the audio in my videos being very hard to hear, especially when I add music in, because there can be kind of like the music being really loud and my voice being really soft. So I do have a microphone coming, and I think that's going to cure some of that issue. So take heart, this might be one of the last videos where you have to struggle to hear me. But I did just roughly mark out the 8-ish by 4-ish space, and I want to try to get this shoveled out. First I have to find my shovel. Be right back. I gotta put my hair up. Better, is it? All right, let's dig in. All right, to save some video, I'm just gonna do this, and I'll be right back with you when I get the top layer all cleared off. Okay, my friend, so I did just take up the first layer of grass and weeds. It was actually pretty thick. Sounds like the dog, neighbor's dog, just got away. I think she got her though. Anyway, I did take up the first layer of grass and weeds, and it's really thick and well established, so I'm glad that I have gotten that pulled up, because it certainly would have grown through my raised garden bed even with cardboard in place. I think it still would have been a real issue in a year or two. So I got the first layer up, and then at this point forward it'll just be a matter of keeping up with it. But you can see meow, that I have, get this repositioned a bit, I have cut out this plot. It is a little more than an 8x4. It's about 4 feet wide and maybe like 9 or 10 feet long, and I just want to make sure I have plenty of space for my garlic. So the next step is going to be laying some cardboard down and then soaking the cardboard, and then starting to layer up my my wood and then my branches. So board finding is an issue at this point. Probably should drink some water, but I'm just going to keep plugging on because we are losing daylight and I want to get this done as soon as possible. So without further ado, the cardboard and then wetting the cardboard will be the next steps.
friends, I know this looks wild right now, but stay with me and trust the process, because this is not going to be visible by the time we are finished. So just hang tight with me, and I promise this catastrophe will soon be covered up. Okay, I just swap my boots out so they don't get all muddy and gross, but I'm just gonna get this plot saturated. Sorry, just trying to get it so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Sorry I don't have any fancy camera angles today. I am just trying to get this done and just trying to share it with you. Nothing fancy. Sorry. Like I said, stick with me. I know this is weird. We have our cardboard wet. I am now going to add up my logs. That's the word, logs. Get some logs going on here and then start filling with some branches. Finally top it off with some leaves and some mulch. I really hope I can get this done tonight. Fingers crossed. I'm so done with this project. Let's see how far we get, guys. You can see that I'm grabbing rotted, punky, wet, sponge-like wood for this project. Any wood would do, but this wood would do. But this is preferable for this project. It already has a lot of fungal activity happening that's going to help inoculate this bed with bacteria and fungus and help get some microbial life going to help break everything down, really integrate the nutrients from these additives into the bed. All right, we'll call this good enough and wet this down and then add a layer of branches. good enough. No. Okay. All right. See, oopsies all around. All right, guys, so stick with me. Like I said, this looks worse before it looks better. Probably looks better than the cardboard that we had on here, but I did go ahead and put on a layer of, like I said, like punky rotting wood, and then branches, and then like leaves and wood chips mixed together with like some twigs and just like yard waste. The next step is to do the compost soil topsoil combo, and I'm gonna do that about 4 to 6 inches deep, and then I'm gonna let this settle overnight. I'm gonna do that under the guise of letting this all settle so that I can top it again as everything kind of settles into place, but it's really because I'm tired and we're losing daylight. So I'm gonna try to get as much topsoil as I can on here, flatten it all out, make it look pretty, and then tomorrow we'll add one last layer before I plant the garlic tomorrow. I swear to God, I just want this garlic to get planted. It's absolutely maddening, driving me crazy, but that's just how these things go sometimes. I'm trying to find my zen and patience with the process, but we're getting close. So if I can just get this topped out, we'll come back tomorrow and we will just worry about finishing this up tomorrow. Finally. But I know. Alright guys, I think this is where we're leaving it tonight. It is nowhere near as full as I want it to be, but we will come back and we'll do another round tomorrow. The baby's ready to go inside, as you can hear, and it's getting late, so we'll call it and we'll come back for more tomorrow.